Hi guys, here you see a white panel I'm working on, and I've sanded with 600 grit little foam pad that I just kind of place on a sanding block, and I sand one way, make sure there's no shine on it, and then I am laying red Sorel paper underneath a printout of what I want to start airbrushing. And what I do is I start to trace this onto the panel by just using, I like to use an ink pen, but you can use a pencil. And I just begin tracing it out. And then that will show the outline of what I want to paint when I remove the Sorel paper. And you can also, there's different ways. You can use a grid method, you can project it on there, but the projector sometimes will move. So to get an accurate way, this is just a different way of doing it. You can use a leaded pencil and also like scrub on the back of the paper like they used to teach in art school, or back in grade school. You like rub the lead on the back of the photo, smear it around, and then turn it around and trace it that way. That works too. The reason why I'm using red Sorel paper is because the graphite Sorel kind of smears a lot. So does the red, but this photo is going to have a lot of like magenta in it and stuff. So I figured it might work with it. And here you see that I have taken some frisket, which is kind of tacky, and I've laid it over the outline of that where I've traced, and then I'm kind of cutting around it so I can spray in my background. Now you wouldn't have to do this. Matter of fact, you could just cut your actual paper and use it, and that's a better way of doing it. I just chose to do it this way. There's different ways. The only thing with the frisket film is that frisket is too tacky, and when you pull it off, you got to pull it fast or you'll get little gummy things. So I've taken off the tape now, and I'm just kind of cleaning up some smears and stuff around, and then I'll start spraying in the background. Now, the only good thing about the frisket film is that when you pull it off of when you get your background sprayed on there and you pull it off, it will take some of that red off, so it's not so dramatic. But I've mixed some magenta in with a little bit of violet, and I'm spraying in here just some. I want it to be blurry because that's what the photo is showing in the background, so I'm just spraying in some different tones here and there, some light, some dark, coming in. And I believe I'm using my PS 771. I have been using the Takumi, but I have trouble with my Takumi. Either I got a lemon Takumi, or I'm doing something wrong, because everybody seems to like the Takumi, but I don't care for it. I've never liked a side feed airbrush, but it does spray really fine lines. But this one does too if you're careful with your mixture. But it seems like every time I try to use it, it just kind of spits on me, and I have not figured out why. I've torn it apart. I've cleaned it. I don't know what it is. So I can only assume it's me. Or maybe the little cup that's down that fits in the fitting there's a burr or something in the finish. I don't know. It's a mystery, but anywho, I'm coming in here and I'll be mixing in some green and yellow colors, and I'm using the vermilion green illustration colors when I come in and spray. I'm kind of, mixing the two together. So I'll be laying some parts over top of other parts so that it just kind of mixes together. I'm not really being real careful here. I'm just going for a blurry background. It's been a while since I've been on. I've had some issues and was sick for a while, and then, life happens. I don't know about you guys, but sometimes I'm like, okay, what do I paint next? Here I'm starting to lay in the green, the yellowish tint. I kind of let that, I just put that right in my cup. I didn't blow out my magenta that was in there. So it kind of mixed together and it's making the tone that I want. And to me, it looks like in the photo there's a couple blurred stems or something in the background. So that's what I'm going for. And on this, I'm not being real particular about it being 100% the right color, as long as I get it close, that's going to be okay for me. I want it to look realistic, but it doesn't have to match the photo completely because, there's all kinds of different colors out there in the world. So we're going for the closest we can get. And the green that I think that I'm needing here, I don't believe I have it. But I actually could have used, I guess, moss green. And I could have used a green candy over too. So, you use what you got. There's so many different colors, wide range of colors in Cretex illustrations. But, I'm not going to get the bundle bunch. I just work with what I have. You can really tack up a lot of money in paints, and I just invested in some Holbein inks, and I haven't gotten used to those yet. Trying to work on a airbrush thing that I took a class online, and trying to use the ink on it, and I don't know. I would have to have different colors, and it's so expensive that they do make a Smika ink, though. I think that's how you say it, Smika ink. But I just don't know if I'm liking the ink yet. So until I find out for sure, I got to paint a few more portraits or practice pieces to find out if it's going to be a switch for me or not. But there's so many different colors in Cretex illustration that it kind of makes it, one of those things that you don't want to throw away all those colors, and you're going to have to use it up anyway. But everybody seems to be switching to ink, so I thought, well, maybe it's better or something, I got to find out. So had to buy me some. Smika ink you can get, I think, on Amazon. Holbein's kind of hard to get a hold of. For some reason, they don't carry it on Amazon. You can go to Airbrush studios that will carry it and ship it out. Oh, let's see. Did I get mine? I got mine from Foxy Studios. And Marissa Olstein does classes that you can do online, and her shop, she sells the Holbein ink. And I have Holbein acrylics and Holbein, brush acrylics and Holbein watercolors. And they're supposed to be the best. So I thought, well, maybe the ink's the best too. So we'll see. But it's a little, I mean, it will last forever because it mixes really well with just diluted or distilled water. But, you know, here I've got my background in. Basically, I think I'm mixing another bluish color to go over some areas to darken it a little bit. It's a blue violet. And if you spray it over the greenish parts, it even makes it darker. So I'm just kind of mixing them all in together. And I actually tried to use, not mix them together, but use illustration colors and then spray the ink, not mixing them together, but on the actual canvas or the panel, mixing them together. Do not work well together, just so you know. Don't try it. I like to try different things. We all learn from each other. Here I'm taking my X-Acto knife and I'm just pulling that off real quick, because the faster you pull it off, like I said, the less gummy, tacky stuff it leaves behind, which is another, in my opinion, fault of the Frisket film. I do have a thicker film called Vivid that's kind of a blue color, and it does not leave this behind. But the only thing about it is it's a lot thicker, so it's harder to cut, and you don't want that on a panel or a canvas or anything you're working on, because you could cut your piece and just run it. So the better way to do this is just to cut out your paper that you printed to get your photo reference. Just cut out around it, use tape to put on the back of it, just like we used to do in school, and tack it to there, and then start spraying your background in. So don't do what I did. If I had to do all over again, that's what I would have did. And for now, this is it. So thank you for watching, and come back for the next part. Bye-bye.